All right, well, it looks like we're going to have a part 3. Trails are busy today. I don't want to keep filming when people are walking by because I'm a little self-conscious about it. And also, I got to keep an eye on Chloe when there are other people around because she likes to join other packs for their walk. We just met a very nice gentleman with a puppy, and Chloe was all prepared to go running after them. Anyway, memories of Chloe's puppyhood. So yeah, she came to me knowing how to use potty bells, and obviously being so young, she wasn't perfect with it. We had a few little accidents in the house, but the process of training her to use the bells, I didn't have to go through that because she knew what they were for already. So that was fun. That was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Yeah, it was good. I remember that very clearly. I really just remember her being a really good puppy. She was sweet. She loved everyone. I guess I could talk about the dog park. Yeah, the dog park. So there was a huge dog park where we lived at the time in southern Alberta, Canada. It was an overflow pond. It was a storm retention pond. So if the area flooded, the dog park would catch all the water and it wouldn't go into people's basements. It was huge. It was probably the size of a football field. I've never seen a football field. It was big. So as soon as she had her 2 puppy shots and she was allowed to be around other dogs without risk of, parvo or anything else like that, I knew socialization was important. So we were out at the dog park. It wasn't very far from our house. We'd leave work in the evening and go down to the dog park before supper. The first time we went, it was literally, we were there for 2 minutes. We walked through the gate. She was in my arms. We walked through the gate. All the dogs came running to say hello to the new puppy, and then we turned around and left because she, I let them sniff her little bum and say hello, and she was clearly, you gotta watch your puppy, make sure they're okay with the situation, and she clearly wasn't. She was trembling. She started to tremble. She was scared. So I turned around. We went out the gate. We went home. And we did it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. We'd go to the dog park. I'd carry her in. I'd let her see the other dogs. And as she got, a little bit more used to the situation, a little bit more calm, a little less scared, I'd put her down to their level, let them sniff her, let her sniff them. Because I think before that time, the only other dog she knew was her mother and her siblings, and the breeder I got her from had several dogs, but they were all small. They were miniature schnauzers, miniature poodles. So all of a sudden, she's meeting. There was a German Shepherd and a Collie, and I think there was a French Bulldog. Yeah. So, all of a sudden she's meeting all these different dogs and they're new to her. So we went, and every time we went, we were there a little bit longer. And she learned to play with these other dogs. And we were there, it was 6 months, 5 or 6 months before we had to move. So in those 5 or 6 months, she went from being, in my arms, trembling, to leading the pack. And we'd open the dog park gate. She'd go in. I'd take her off leash. She'd go in and run right up to the other dogs and, hi, how are you? Nice to see you again. And all the doggy greetings. And she found out she really likes really big dogs. There was a German Shepherd cross. Don't know what he was crossed with, but he was a really tall dog, long legs, which is unusual for a German Shepherd, but really long legs, boy, could he run. So he'd be, there was a horse pasture right beside the dog park with 2 horses in it, and he'd be chasing them back and forth along the fence. And you know how fast horses are, and big dogs. And there's little Chloe with her little legs just booking it to keep up. So he was chasing the horses and Chloe was chasing him. And you know, when a new dog comes to the park, you know, the gate opens, all the dogs run to say hello. And it got to the point where, you know, when we first got here, Chloe didn't want anything to do with new dogs. She didn't want to say hi. She was scared, you know. And then after a few months, she was the first one to that gate to say hello to the new dog. So yeah, that's how we were socialized. And she still runs to say hello to dogs. That's her biggest. We're really working on that. We run into another dog on this trail and she's off. Like I said, sometimes she'll end up trying to follow them wherever they're going, even if we were going in the opposite direction. She just, and deer, anything that vaguely resembles a dog or another animal, another four-legged animal. We were walking past the veterinary office the other day, and they were leading a horse in the back, and she wanted to go say hello to that horse so bad, and I said, nope. There's a little herd of deer. We gotta be careful out here because the deer in here won't know her. But we have a little herd of deer around our condo building, and thankfully they're well adjusted to her. They can be quite aggressive in this area, which is something new. Where we moved from, the deer were scared of people, and you know, you open your front door and there's one on your lawn and they take off running. But the deer here can be quite aggressive. When we first moved here, we would open the front door of the condo building and there's deer on the lawn, and they come towards you, you know, kind of head lowered and ready to cause trouble. But now they're used to us now. They're used to Chloe. We went up the trail the other day, and Chloe was off leash, and there was a mother with a baby deer, which of course is the most dangerous situation because that mother deer is going to defend her baby. And Chloe nearly gave me a heart attack. Chloe went running right up to the baby. Oh, let's play. And of course I start freaking out because that's, you know, yeah, the worst case scenario is, you know, Chloe takes a hoof to the head. Dark thoughts. Okay. So yeah, she was running right up to the baby, and I start freaking out. And the mother deer lifts her head, sniffs, and you can almost see, oh, you know, it's you. It's we've smelled you before. And she goes right back to eating grass. So obviously, I got Chloe out of the situation right away because it's still unpredictable. They're still wild animals. There's still the chance the mother will decide Chloe shouldn't be around her baby anymore. But they're used to her. And she's not aggressive. She's not, you know, she almost never barks, which I was told her breed was very yappy, but she almost never barks. And she approaches everything like she wants to play. So she runs up to this deer, like, she does her little, I call it her, "Hi, I'm Chloe" dance. She goes running up and all friendly, tail wagging, and, "Hi, I'm Chloe, play with me." So she's friendly. She approaches them friendly. This is supposed to be memories of Chloe's puppyhood, and this happened last week. Anyway, I don't really remember. There's not too many specific memories that stand out for me from when Chloe was a puppy. Those are the main ones, in part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this video, because we keep running into other people walking out here. Those are the main ones I kind of remember and reminisce on, and yeah, she was a good puppy. I really lucked out for my first puppy. I couldn't have had an easier time of it. except for the puppy blues. I gotta make a video on the puppy blues because they hit hard. Oh, thanks, Chloe. Well, let's see the forest. Let's see the forest over here. Oh, goodness. Yeah, she was a good puppy. She was really good. I researched for hours, for days, for weeks before I actually brought home a dog because that's what I like to do. I like to make sure I know what I'm doing. And then I got her and it all went out the window. I had a plan for how I was going to raise this puppy, and this is how we're going to do training, and this is, this is the best method as recommended online. And it kind of all went out the window as soon as I got her, which I guess is let that be a lesson to you. No matter how well you think you're prepared, when you actually get the dog, they have little minds of their own, little personalities. They have preferences. I picked out what I thought was the best food for her, and she wouldn't touch it. I researched ingredients, reviews. Okay, this one has real meat in it. She'll love it. There's minimal fillers. Other dogs seem to like it. This will be her food of choice. And she wouldn't eat it. So back to the drawing board. I had a plan in place for how I was going to train her to do certain things. And, those methods didn't work for her. And some, I planned for training her how to use potty bells, and she already knew how to use them. I didn't have to train her. We just needed to be consistent about, so then it's on me, right? She rings the bells. I know I need to take her out so that she knows, yes, she's doing the right thing. This is what you do. You ring your bells and we go out. But yeah, that was her puppyhood. We got through it. And at 6 months old, she moved with me to another province. She did so well. She was so sick when we arrived. I guess that's a memory. We drove for 2 days to get here. Like 7-8 hours a day for 2 days. She sat in my lap, and on the first day she did well. We stayed in the hotel overnight. She did okay. Second day was not. She started to go a little bit downhill. As we were approaching. Chloe, not a path, honey. Come here. As we were approaching the end of our journey, she was kind of laying in my arms. I could tell she didn't feel right. I don't know, car sickness, or she wasn't really eating her kibble at the time. Like I said, I picked out a kibble and she didn't like it. So we were feeding her, like we were buying ourselves A&W, as you do on the road. Burgers, fries, breakfast sandwiches, Dairy Queen, McDonald's, whatever. So I think she had a piece of egg from a breakfast sandwich that morning. And by the time noon hit, she was not happy with things. She kind of lay in my arms looking up at me like, can we get off this ride now? So we got into the new condo, got our sleeping bags set up because the furniture hadn't arrived yet. And actually, I think the furniture was like 3 weeks late or something. It was fun times. Anyway, so I set up my blanket and she peed all over it. And then she had diarrhea in several spots all over the new carpet. Boy, was I glad I was not renting the place. Yeah, she was very sick that night. But yeah, adventures of moving with a puppy. She's adjusted fine. She loves the hiking trails out here. We had a little walking path where we came from. A little path around a man-made lake. It wasn't very long. It took about 20 minutes to walk around the lake. Here, the lake is so big you can't even walk around the lake. With the hiking trails, I think it's left. I have a bad sense of direction. I think it's left. Chloe, where's the car, honey? Can you find the car? Oh yeah, I think it's this way. Yeah, she loves it up here. And we're here for the next few years anyway, until I can pay down my mortgage, and then we're gonna move closer to mom and dad. Um, there she goes. But I'm happy here. I finally got a good job that I like, and Chloe's happy here. Like, yeah, this isn't about me. This is about the dog. Chloe's happy here. Chloe, not in the road. Hey, I should probably go. Anyway, those are my memories of Chloe as a puppy. Thanks for watching. Bye.